Hey, welcome to this segment. Tonight we saw The Visit in the lap of luxury at a Luxury Plus Galaxy Theater. We have our own opinions about the movie. We're going to get to those right after you see what the first fans had to say about the movie. What'd you think of the movie?
It was awful.
Okay.
It was awful.
And tell me how it was awful.
Just bad acting. The storyline didn't flow very well. Nothing was surprising.
So what'd you think?
I thought it was really good. I was pretty captivated by it the entire time.
Okay.
Like, it was one of the few movies that you watch and like you actually feel like you get like caught up in, like you're like emotionally invested in it. Like there's certain like twists and turns. Like I felt like I was just like super invested in each character.
What'd you think of the movie?
It was like really intense. Like it started out really kind of calm and like it kept building, but oh Jesus, like didn't see the ending coming.
And no spoilers. Don't tell us what it is.
It just the ending really kind of caught me off guard at first. Like there was
Is it a good caught you off guard or a bad caught you off guard?
kind of both, because it's like, oh man, it's like a sucker punch to the face.
Okay. Was it good awful at all? Was it awful enough to enjoy, or was it just you just didn't like it?
It had creepy parts.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you guys have nothing positive to say. It was creepy.
I've definitely seen better. I mean, the old lady was pretty creepy. I mean, she was. They threw that in there very well. But other than that, I mean, he's made better movies.
It's just didn't work at all for you.
Nah, not for me, but for her, maybe.
Not really.
Okay, so maybe skip this one, but there's still a lot of other good movies to see in theaters right now. So watch those. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Do you think the scares in this movie, were they legit like tension scares, or was it like the just jump scares? I mean, was it? Did you feel it was the scare?
There's a few jump scares here and there, but I'd say the majority were tension scares. It's more like situational. Just like what was actually going on in the movie is just kind of like legitimately creepy. Like it's something like it had a realness to it.
Okay, so it was real, and you liked the characters, and so would you suggest seeing this in the theater, or should you wait to rent it at home? What do you think?
No, I think you should watch it in the theater.
Okay, theater. All right, cool. Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
So walking out of there, without saying what the ending was, walking out of there, do you feel like disappointed? Or is that kind of ending where it's kind of like, oh, screw me for watching this, or was it? Or are you happy that you saw the movie?
I'm happy I saw the movie. I will never watch it again though, because it really just oh god.
Wow. So we're definitely being cryptic, and we're not giving away what happened, but it sounds interesting, at least. Like, even though you said it was a sucker punch, now
I would recommend it. I would really recommend it to someone to watch, definitely.
Cool. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's what the first fans had to say about the movie, and I'm here with Kevan, and we're going to really get in depth with this. Those reviews had some varying opinions. What did you think about the movie?
It's hard not to laugh at that point. The fact that they had such varying opinions blows me away, because honestly, it was painful for me. And I'm Mr. I love everything about a movie. You know, I'll sit through tons of movies, and even some of the worst cowboy films, I'll still watch them because, you know, I'm a die-hard film. Mm-hmm. That was a hard film to watch.
It was it was painful.
It was painful. Well, painful, except we were in nice seats.
We were in fantastic seats,
yes.
and we loved the Galaxy experience.
Love
it's much better than if we had seen this in another theater. But I still kind of wish that this movie never existed.
Yes, I feel the same way.
I felt violated.
It's a good word for it, violated. Oh my goodness me!
The enjoyment that I did have in it, though, there was kind of a party atmosphere with some of the people who happened to come to the showing. Right. And what I found fascinating was how much they were enjoying it at some points, and I was kind of laughing at them. Yes. Laughing at what was an attempt at comedy.
Well, I actually did enjoy the crowd more than I enjoyed the film. Yeah. It was funny to listen to their responses, you know. Mm-hmm. And there was a couple of things. No spoilers here yet.
Yeah, we're going to get into spoilers.
There was a couple of things that, you know, I can see where they laughed in, you know, but it was funny listening to them laugh.
Yeah, there was like some basic, I think maybe there was some Adam Sandler influence and some fart jokes, some poop jokes, kind of level of humor, and that was an attempt at humor, and that was funny. But some of the scares too, you know, it was funny to see people be afraid.
Yeah, and I think what it was is the fact it was a PG, right?
PG-13.
13. And the fact that probably a 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old person is going to think it's a real scream.
They're gonna your kids are gonna love it.
Yeah, but as adults, it's going to be a really hard film to watch.
And so no recommendation for me. Now let's get into spoilers because I want to really dig into this.
Well, actually, before we do that, can we talk a little bit about the actual film itself before we get into the spoilers?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the camera. The fact that, and I suppose it could go into spoilers, so we probably should.
Well, yeah, let's just do here's a spoiler warning right here, and then, but if you're watching this, you should have already seen the movie, and honestly, you really shouldn't see the movie anyway, so just watch this review of it.
Well, okay, so the fact that, spoiler, she's filming it, and so the film looks like a 13 or 14-year-old person made the film, actually, college effort, and too much moving around.
Yeah, they trick you, because in the trailer that I saw for it, I didn't see any indication that it would be kind of a found footage film,
right?
And so you have to deal with that when you're coming into it. And it's right away. I'm just like, oh God.
and what I laughed is that in the credits it was a still photographer. I wish he had somebody been still. The camera was going up.
Yeah. Well, he was probably the guy that held it on the mantle or something for the jump scare. But you know what I think is fascinating about this movie is finally M. Night Shyamalan made a movie without a twist.
There was no twist
because we were talking about what the twist was going to be about 5 minutes into the movie, yes. and I was fascinated when the twist happened that I heard a couple gasps.
Well, yes, and in the audience, and plus the person said.
The person we interviewed, he was shocked.
I was shocked.
Yeah,
I mean, I was shocked. You were shocked.
Yeah.
We weren't.
Immediately, by the within 5 minutes into the movie, I'm like, well, basically, as soon as he said, "Don't go into the basement," I said, "Well, the grandparents are in the basement."
Exactly.
Duh. And I told Kevan, I'm like, I'm going to be seriously disappointed if that's what this twist is, if that's what these people are talking about, and I just. I don't understand how it's the same director that made The Sixth Sense. I don't know what's going through his head right now, and it's not like we've ever done anything as successful as M. Night Shyamalan either. I don't like to break somebody down, but like I said, I feel offended by that this movie exists in my universe.
Well, I'm the same way. I hate to beat up movies just for beating up because I'm not that type of personality, but. To sit through it was painful. I mean, thank God the chairs were comfy because I really wanted to get up and leave. But I persisted. I wanted to check out, the cinematography and then, the scenes and everything else and check the acting. And let's be honest, there was not a great deal of good acting here.
Oh, there was some nudity, though.
God, please. Not a positive.
Rough. Yeah. But speaking of awkward things, there was some parts in this movie where they were trying to be compelling and elicit emotion, and Kevan caught me doing this when it was not even a conscious choice. When these sad scenes were happening, I had to look away.
Yeah, I did.
It was.
Oh, I was looking at you.
Yeah,
I couldn't stand it.
I was just like, I felt so embarrassed. Basically, that I was seeing this.
Well, I mean, this Kathryn Hahn. They all rave about her, but she was in it so little, and it wasn't very effective. And okay, the grandparents played it as best as they could. It's not their fault, so...
Yeah, I think they were definitely... they played cool, creepy people, but it was the...
lack of suspense, the lack of
for us,
horror.
At least.
Yeah, I mean, it really wasn't much of horror. And the lead girl, and I've forgotten her name for the second, DeJonge, I think it is. So she did a good job overall. Her brother... I just wanted to slap him.
Yeah.
I was so irritated. And it wasn't even his great acting. It was the fact he wasn't a very good actor. I don't think so anyway. And who am I to say that? But the reality is I just was so angry or bored at it all the time. It was very hard, hard to watch.
I was watching it half the time, just fascinated by how bad it was. and there was, when it gets to the end... I would say that especially watching it with the audience that we saw it with, it did finally, at the very end, I think, reach a certain level of maybe so bad it was good for me for a little bit. I mean, just so amazing that you're just like, oh my God, this is movies now. Like, this is real. This is really happening on screen. The guy's really rubbing a diaper in the kid's face, and the crowd is going crazy. They were eating it up.
Literally eating it up. I mean, it was awful to watch. But, you know.
And then when the mom came and hugged him right after, I'm like, don't kiss him. No, what are you doing? Got old man poop on him.
Oh, my gosh. And maybe that was the whole point of it. You know, maybe he was appealing to that age group and we just missed it, you know. So if we'd have gone ooh, back to when we were 13, maybe we would be giggling and thinking it was funny. But, you know, your kids, I read somewhere, you know, the review, leave the kids at home, go and watch it as a date. Actually, drop the kids off and let them watch it and you go and watch it another movie next door.
You know what? That's how this movie can work.
Yes,
it can be a family date night. You bring your 15-year-old, 15 under kids to the...
Yeah, you could watch No Escape. You know,
and then
Mission
you go
Impossible,
and see a decent movie, because there's a lot of decent movies that are still in the theaters.
Absolutely.
We just saw No Escape. That was all right.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Mission Impossible still in theaters.
So that's the answer.
Right? Straight Outta Compton.
Oh, yeah. Take the kids, drop them off,
Yeah.
let them watch this movie, go next door and watch a credible movie. How's that? We like that.
Absolutely. So still come to Galaxy Theaters. And did you have anything more you needed to...
No, normally I like to sort of look at the whole ambience of the movie and what production qualities there were in it. I'm at a loss. I really don't know what to say about that, so I'm not going to bother.
Maybe we're just growing up, Kevan.
Well, that's a scary thought, isn't it? Yeah,
what if this is like... What if we're just like old cynical, jerks? We
could be on the Muppets.
Yeah. Like what?
Boo, boo.
What if
more?
Yeah.
That's us.
What if we would have said this about the Beatles if we were, over 30? Would we have? I don't
Elvis
know.
moving his hips.
Is this a classic? I don't know. Comment below. Let us know. Maybe this is like a future classic movie.
Well, there's a good point to that. So let's give our information, and then maybe they can let us know what they think of it. Eh?
Yeah. Well, comment below on this video. Tell us what you thought of the movie, and are we just
about us?
Yeah. Are we just a couple of old cynical jerks,
farts,
or do you agree? Is this one of the worst movies ever made in the history of cinema?
Yeah, and I'm sorry if I've offended anybody, but and like I said, I'm not the type of person who poo-poos on anything really. I try to see the positive, and it was tough for me in that one. So I'm going to go 1 out of 10.
Yeah, this is a 1 out of 10. It's not even on there. But anyways, I hear some music starting to play. I think they're going to come in here and clean up the theater here.
We got to cut out. So you want to leave our info?
BlueNumberMedia.com. You can check us out there, and MovieFansReact.com. And we'll be back. And in fact, Sunday night, Monday morning, we're going to be talking about Fear the Walking Dead.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah,
and many other videos that might come up in between.
Yeah, nice.
All right.
Good seeing you again, Hank.
Yeah, good seeing you guys. Then we'll see you next time.
Bye.